Good morning students. In the video number 8 we have completed the chapter of solutions. Here at the end we have studied colligative properties of electrolytes. There we have seen that the magnitude of colligative property of electrolyte is greater as compared with the magnitude of colligative property of non-electrolyte of the same concentration, and molar mass of electrolyte obtained using the magnitude of colligative property is less as compared with the theoretical molar mass of electrolyte. Finally, we have studied one expression which gives relationship between Van't factor I, degree of dissociation alpha, and the number of moles at equilibrium, that we have studied. So the chapter of solutions we have completed. Now let us see the numerical examples. In your book, problem number 9, numerical problem number 9 is this one. The vapor pressure of water at 20 degrees Celsius is 17 millimeter of mercury. What is the vapor pressure of solution containing 2.8 gram urea in 50 gram water? This is the problem. See it over here. How it is? We have to calculate. The vapor pressure of water at 20 degrees Celsius is 17 millimeter mercury. Vapor pressure of water means pure water. See, while solving any problem, first of all we have to write the given data of the problem. So what is the given data over here? Vapor pressure of pure water, that is P10, it is given as 17 millimeter of mercury. Vapor pressure of pure water. Now we have to calculate the vapor pressure of solution. Means P1 we have to calculate. And for that purpose, the solution is containing 2.8 gram urea in 50 gram water. So what is urea? Is it solute or solvent? It is a solute because it is taken in the less proportion. So weight of the solute W2 will be equal to 2.8 gram. Weight of the solvent W1, this is equal to 50 gram of water, and this is urea. We have to calculate the value of P1 using the first colligative property, that is relative lowering of vapor pressure. So what is that equation according to relative lowering of vapor pressure? See here, solution of the problem. We know this equation, delta P upon P10 will be equal to, this is equal to W2 M1 divided by W1 M2. If this is solved, what we will get? Delta P is nothing but P10 minus P1 divided by P10. It is equal to W2 M1 divided by W1 M2. P1 we have to calculate. This factor we have to calculate. We know P10 we know. W2 we know, P1 2.8 gram. M1, what is M1? Is it molar mass of solute or solvent? It is the molar mass of solvent, M1 W1. Solvent is water. What is molar mass of water? It is equal to 18. Similarly M2 is the solute, molar mass of solute. What is the molar mass of solute? Urea. Urea has formula NH2CO NH2 and has a molar mass of 60. See how it comes. NH2 CO NH2. Two nitrogen atoms means 28. 14 into 13, 14 into 2, 28. 4 hydrogen atoms, 4. Then 1 carbon, 12. 1 oxygen, 16. 6 to 8, 12, 8, 20. So this will be equal to 60. Therefore, molar mass of urea solute is equal to 60. Now all these facts, 4 facts we know. P1 0 also we know. We can calculate the value of P1. So let us substitute the values. It is P1 0. How much given? 70. P1 0 will be equal to 70. Or let us see over here. P1 0 substitute the values 70 minus P1 we have to calculate, divided by P1 0 again 70. It is equal to W2. How much W2? 2.8 gram multiplied by M1 18 divided by W1 it is 50 multiplied by M2 60. Further on solving this, how will it be? 70 minus P1 is equal to 2.8 multiplied by 18 multiplied by 17 divided by 50 into 60. Now how to solve this? This we have to calculate. How we have to calculate it? See the log of numerator. Make its addition separately. Then see the log of denominator. Make the addition separately. Then log of numerator minus log of denominator. You will get certain factor. And then see the antilog of that factor. That is the final answer. How to solve this? 17 minus P1 will be equal to log of numerator minus log of denominator. And then finally, suppose if that is equal to x, suppose this answer comes equal to x, 17 minus P1 will be equal to now antilog of x. Therefore, 17 minus P1 will be equal to, suppose final answer y. What I have done here? Log of numerator, all these 3 terms, log is added. Then log of denominator, these 2 terms log, that is added. Then subtract the log of denominator from log of numerator. Suppose that answer is x. Then see the antilog of that x, that is equal to y. That is the final answer. If you solve this correctly, if you see the log antilog correctly, this answer of y you must get equal to, that answer you should get equal to 0.2856. This must be 0.2856 y. Then you can calculate P1, taking P1 on right side. So what is the answer? P1 if we take on right side. Over here it is 17 minus 0.2856. And if we do this subtraction, we will get the final answer of P1. That final answer of P1 should be equal to 16.71. We are getting it as 16.71. That is the vapor pressure in millimeter of mercury for the solution. This is the final answer. In your book, it is given as 16.17. 17 it is given, but we are getting as 16.71. That is the printing mistake in our book. This is how the problem can be solved. You got it? How I have solved this problem? The vapor pressure of pure water means solvent is given, that is this one. P1 we have to calculate. For that, this is non-volatile, non-electrolyte solute, 2.8 gram. Dissolved in the solvent, 50 gram of water, where molar mass of water is 18 and the molar mass of urea solute is 60. Using all those figures, all those values, since we know this equation, delta P upon P10 is equal to W2M1 divided by W1M2. Delta P is nothing but P10 minus P1. So this P1 we can calculate by substituting all the values. Important point over here, after substitution is the calculation. Let's see the log of numerator, all these three terms, add them. Then see the log of denominator, two terms, add them. Log of numerator minus log of denominator. If that is x, see the antilog of that x. And if that is y, 17 minus p1 is equal to y. If you see the correct log, antilog, all those factors, subtraction, antilog, you must get this answer. And then taking p1 on right side and this figure on left side, we will get 17 minus 0.2856 is equal to p1. So the final answer of p1 must be equal to 16.71 millimeter of mercury. This is how problem number 9 is solved. Now this is problem number 10 in your book. Problem number 10. So what is this problem? A 5% aqueous solution by mass of cane sugar, molar mass 342 gram per mole, has a freezing point of 271 Kelvin. Calculate the freezing point of 5% aqueous glucose solution. Now see the data, given data from this problem. It is the solvent used, aqueous solution, aqueous means the solvent used is water, and the solute over here is a cane sugar, 5%. 5% means mass of solute, it is equal to 5 gram. Mass of the solvent W1 will be equal to 95 gram. The solute is nothing but sucrose, solvent is water. And this solution has a freezing point of solution TF. It is equal to 271 Kelvin. This is the data. Up to this level, this is the data. We know the freezing point of pure solvent water T0F, 0 degree Celsius. That is equal to 273 Kelvin. So freezing point of pure solvent we know. Freezing point of solution is this one. W2, W1 is known. We can calculate freezing point depression constant. We can calculate molar depression constant. From this data, what is the depression of freezing point? Delta TF, it is equal to T0F minus TF. So it is equal to 273 minus 271 will be equal to 2 Kelvin. Now we know this formula. Solution. We know this formula. Delta TF will be equal to 1000 Kf W2 divided by M2 W1. So Kf we have to calculate. Delta Tf we know it is 2. Kf we have to calculate. M2, how much M2 we are taking? M2 is the molar mass of solute, that is given 342 gram per mole. Molar mass of solute is Kf. Therefore Kf, molar depression constant, will be equal to delta Tf into m2 into W1 divided by 1000 into W2. That is how Kf we can calculate. Substituting the values, Kf is equal to delta Tf is 2 multiplied by m2 is given, that is m2 342 multiplied by W1, that is 95 divided by 1000 multiplied by W2, mass of the solute, that is equal to 5. So how to solve this? Again see the log of these three terms, then log of these two terms separately, addition of the log of three terms minus log of these two terms, then see antilog, you will get certain answer. So what is that answer? Let us see over here. Kf, if this is solved, we will get the answer equal to 64980. Over here it is 64980 divided by 5000, and if we solve this, finally we will get Kf is equal to the answer 12.996 Kelvin kilogram per mole. This is the answer of Kf, depression of freezing point constant. Molar depression constant we will get in this manner. And now this molar depression constant is used for the further calculation. First solute is given as sucrose with molar mass 342. Now we have to consider the glucose. Again the mass of glucose W2 over here. This is for the sucrose, and now we are considering it for a glucose. Again 5% solution of glucose is used. So what is the mass of glucose? 5 gram. What is the mass of solvent? 5% aqueous. Means again it is same one, 95 gram. We know the molar depression constant, and now we have to calculate freezing point of 5% aqueous solution. So again we have to use this equation. So what is this equation over here? Delta Tf is equal to 1000 Kf W2 divided by m2 W1. Now over here, what is this? Delta Tf. Delta Tf is nothing but Tf0 minus Tf. This is what we have to calculate. This we have to calculate. It is equal to 1000 Kf W2 divided by m2 W1. Now Tf0 we know, this is 273. Tf we have to calculate. Kf already we have calculated. W2 5 gram. M2 now it is different. M2 here we have to calculate now. Glucose has formula 6C6H12O6. 6 carbon atoms. 12 into 6 equal to 72. 12 hydrogen atoms. So 1 into 12 it is equal to 12. 6 oxygen atoms. 16 into 6 it is equal to 96. Doing the summation, this is equal to 6 for 10. 1 is carried, 10, 18, 180. Molar mass of glucose is 180. Means M2 we have used 180 gram per mole. 180 gram per mole. Over here we have used M+342, that is for sucrose. But now we have to calculate the freezing point of glucose solution. Therefore, molar mass of glucose we have to take as 180. Now all these facts we know. T0M is also known, so we can calculate the value of Tm like this. See the substitution and calculation of answer. T0F 273 minus Tf, this we have to calculate, equal to 1000 into, what is the value of Kf? Just now we have calculated 12.996 multiplied by W2 5 divided by M2 W1, M2 now 180, W1 95. That is the solvent, mass of solvent. Again, solve this side, right side. See the logarithm of above 3 terms. Add them. Then see the logarithm of these 2 terms. Add them. Log of numerator minus log of denominator, and then antilog. We will get the answers like this. 273 minus Tf will be equal to 6490 divided by 17100. Then Tm we have to calculate. If we solve this answer, that comes equal to 3.8, means 273 minus Tf is equal to 3.8. How to solve this? Log of this term minus log of this term, and then antilog. You will get this answer, 3.8. And from that, Tf can be calculated. Tf taken on right side, 3.8 on left side. So 273 minus 3.8 is equal to Tf, that is the freezing point of 5% aqueous glucose solution. Now it is for the glucose solution we have calculated, and that answer we are getting equal to 269.2 Kelvin. This is the freezing point of 5% aqueous solution of now glucose. See over here, this is the problem we have to solve in 2 steps. In the first step, using this data of sucrose, cane sugar means sucrose, we have to calculate the value of molar depression constant Kf. After getting the value of Kf, now W2 and M2 we have to use for glucose. M2 of glucose is 180, like this. W1 we know 95, W2 is 5. Delta Tf is nothing but the difference between T0M and Tf. Substituting all those values, we can get these facts. This answer will be 3.8. Taking on left side, Tf on the right side. Tf is nothing but now the freezing point of 5% aqueous glucose solution. So this is the final answer. One more problem we have to take over here. See now, this is a very simple problem. Just one step problem. One step. Here it is written as a solution of citric acid with formula C6H8O7 in 50 gram of acetic acid has boiling point elevation of 1.76 Kelvin. So from this we will easily come to know This is a solute. This is a solute, and the solvent is acetic acid. So what is it? Solute? Solute is nothing but citric acid, and the solvent in this problem used is nothing but acetic acid. Then whenever the citric acid is added to the acetic acid, elevation of boiling point is given. Boiling point elevation is given, means that is delta TB. That is given as 1.76 Kelvin. This is directly given. We don't have to calculate. We know the formula. Delta TB will be equal to TB minus T0B. Elevation of boiling point. Boiling point of solution minus solvent. Boiling point of solution is greater than solvent. Therefore, this difference is known as boiling point elevation, and directly it is given. This factor is given 1.76 Kelvin. Further, Kb is given. Kb means molar elevation constant. We know Kb is molar depression constant. Similarly, Kb is molar elevation constant. This is given as 3.07 Kelvin kilogram per mole. Kelvin kilogram per mole. So delta TB is given, Kb is given. Simply they have asked to calculate small m, molality of solution. What is the molality small m of solution? Now very simple, single step problem. For elevation of boiling point, we know this relation. For a solution of this problem, directly we know the equation delta TB is equal to Kb into m. Therefore, what will be the equation for m? M will be equal to delta TB divided by Kb. So m is equal to delta TB 1.76 divided by Kb, molar elevation constant 3.07. So very simple. Here is the log of numerator minus log of denominator. Log of numerator minus log of denominator. Do the subtraction and then see the antilog, so that you will get the final answer. Molarity small m of this solution will be equal to 0.5732 molar. This is how molarity small m is calculated. We have studied why molarity is used. Molarity is not used, that we have studied. Molarity and molality are different terms. Molarity is not applicable because molarity capital M depends on volume. That is the number of moles of solute present per liter of the solution. So molarity depends on volume, and we know volume increases with increasing temperature, decreases with decreasing temperature. So volume depends on the temperature, and elevation of boiling point and depression of freezing point are the systems studied under different temperatures. Therefore, term molarity capital M is not applicable. But what is small m? Molality. Molality is number of moles of solute present per kilogram of the solvent. Mass is involved, volume is not involved. In the calculation of molality, mass is involved, volume is not involved, and mass is independent of temperature. Therefore, term molality is directly used, and the law over there is like this: elevation of boiling point is directly proportional to molality. If some proportionality constant like Kb is taken, Kb is known as molar elevation constant. Molar elevation constant. What is the molar elevation constant that we have studied? Whenever molality is 1, the molar elevation constant is defined as elevation of boiling point whenever 1 mole of solute is dissolved in 1 kilogram of the solvent. So that is how molality can easily be calculated on this equation, and molality will get 0.5732 mole. This is the problem number 11. लेकिन बस now students, remaining problems I have taken here the solution of 3 problems. We have completed 3 problems, problem number 9, 10 and 11. Now remaining problems you perform yourself as a homework. Those are the problems with you. Already we have sent you PDF of book. So all the remaining problems we have to solve as a homework. If there is any problem, we will discuss whenever we will meet together. Correct. किती मिनिटं झाले?